with clinical redesign, it's quite important to, right at the onset, determine whether this is completely local, in fact whether it's practice specific or locality specific, is it borough specific or is it wider? And actually, the higher the prevalence, as a rule, the more it becomes a slightly wider issue. So for example, diabetes with a very high prevalence rate, if you're going to alter that care pathway, you probably need to think of its impact on your acute hospital and the neighbouring PCTs that may use that acute hospital. Because otherwise, all you do is you take an element of care out, the hospital cannot reduce its own costs because the other two boroughs or the other three boroughs are still using that service. This is about the acute and the primary care system working together. It's not about us in isolation trying to alter a care pathway, because we just won't succeed because the money won't stack up, and then there'll be block after block after block. One of the things we've done in Bexley is set up a patient management centre which takes the initial referral. This is now owned by a Bexley GP company, and we believe that's actually very important for the GPs to feel that this is part of their work and their system and not imposed by a management structure. We've also then looked at the productivity agenda or the QUIP agenda, and we're going to use that gatekeeping function of a patient management centre to support the productivity agenda we're asking our consultant colleagues to do through the new contracts going in this year. One of the key, I think, issues for consultants to get right is how to work with their colleagues around making sure that if we've agreed a process, we've agreed a pathway, that that's kept to. Because money and productivity are going to be very difficult over the next few years, if you spent a lot of time investing into a system, the whole consortia need to buy into that. Now, my experience of GPs is there'll be one or two who may not want to do that and will try to do things in a slightly different way. The Cabinet has agreed that it will set a dashboard of markers that we use to hold colleagues to account. That will be done initially through the locality leads having a discussion with practitioners or practices, but actually eventually it will have to go up to the senior level of clinical leadership, and there will need to be some quite strong discussions about consequences of that behaviour. My view of consortia is we're all in it together. There isn't going to be one practice that can stand outside of that. You either win together or you lose together. So actually it's in all our benefit to work collaboratively and not to try and game the system, which maybe you could say has been a history of GPs before.